reminder is basically the quintessence of all deeper teachings. The word religion, when it is rightly understood, is indicating that which reunites. Religio is like we again uniting. And that is very, very important in human life, that we not only live the world of duality, where we see everything in parts, polarized, and is in the game of friend and foe, good and bad, right and wrong. That is the one dimension. But when you also connect consciously and become attuned and familiar with a deeper dimension of the reality, the essence, the fundament, whatever way it is indicated in different deeper teachings, when both dimensions are accepted and you are not caught in this nor that, that becomes the real transformative process in a very healthy sense, because what it can enable you is to live this world intelligently, creatively, gracefully, and also when the time comes to leave this world, also to allow it in a graceful way, allow it without falling into any suffering and pain, in any misery and conflict. That is why when you work with this reminder, then you don't need any other reminder to work with, because this is something so basic, so valuable, and it can bring about that what one is deep within seeking into realization. That is why you don't need two reminders, just one reminder where you need to be with the whole time practically. In a way, you have heard it in different indications, different orientations from the subtler teaching process. But this one I'm giving is very direct, very easily understandable when you allow it. And also when you practice it, you will see in course of short period, it will bring about the transformative process into aliveness. You will start noticing that it does something very valuable and very deep for you. That's why consider it carefully and be courageously, wholeheartedly with the initiative to bring it into practical living as good as you can, as deeply as you can. And it is just in every moment of life, every interaction, we are having two factors working. One factor is the reactions which arise in us. Sometimes we are, especially in the shadow area, we are irritated, angry, depressed, resignated, frustrated, very strongly in rage, or very deeply touched into sadness or disappointment. And in other areas where you are so joyous and ecstatic and so happy and so deeply in a fulfilled moment. What is valuable is when your attention comes not only to this reaction which is arising in you, because that is why when it is said normally turn the attention inward, you bring the attention to this aspect and you notice, there is happiness or there is sadness or there is this or that. But there is another dimension behind this reaction, another root process which is taking place in you, and that is where parallel to this you have to bring your attention. That means to look, for example, in moments when there is shadow reactions arising especially, what kind of fear is at work? What kind of expectations are there? What attitudes are at work? What desires are operating in you? What is it what you are clinging to? What identification is going on in this moment undercurrently? What are the processes which are behind the apparent reaction? See the significance of this. Not only the apparent reaction which is coming in you that you become aware of, but what is undercurrently, deeply, in the subtler form, producing these reactions. So the root area, which is often not seen, considered, confronted deeply, you bring the attention to this aspect also. So, in a way you can say you are in a three-dimensional aspect of reality. One is the manifest reality outside with which you are interacting. And the other is the reactions which arise in you, and the deeper root part from where it is all arising. What are the subtler factors which are operating? And remember, you are not trying to change yourself, you are not trying to improve yourself, you are not trying to make any issue out of it. What makes a big difference is when you recognize your presence to deepen, your presence to reach the deeper layers in you. So now let me tell you the challenges which you will have to face, because when you are allowing it in this way, naturally you will have to confront the fears, the calculations, the clinging. And also, when you are not clinging to it, when you are not identifying with all this, when you are only just seeing all this, then the subtler reaction which arises, which says, then there is nothing. There is only emptiness. There is the abyss. That there is nothing you have where you can settle. The ground under the feet seems to be disappearing. All these are reactions in a subtler form arising in this confrontation. That means bring attention to all this. Because these are also reactions based on your conditioning. These are also based on the interpretations which your mind is making in terms of attempting to define, to categorize, to hold to the subtle idea of duality. Because this fear, this panic, this feeling of losing the ground under the feet is happening to a so-called I. So bring attention to all this without identifying yourself with any aspect. And this will be very, very valuable when you also are accepting that these kind of things will come up, and you can watch it. You can watch everything. And this way, to become familiar, become attuned to the source, to the root, the innermost essence, enables you also to act in the game of the world more creatively, more intelligently, more realistically. And in the practice you will see that you are becoming inwardly more peaceful. You are becoming inwardly more clear. You are becoming inwardly more human. And spontaneously, out of this acceptance and relaxation which happens, joy will arise. I'm saying these things not that you make a new expectation and new desire out of it, but I'm saying these things because this is how, in the natural process, it will move to. So you have to very carefully allow this. Watch your patience, watch your impatience, watch your calculations, watch your anxieties, which are all undercurrently working in these processes, and not identify with any of that. And this is not that you do it few times a day, 5 times a day, or 7 times a day. No, it is something with which you continue all through. At first, experiment with it for 7 weeks. And look what it does, what it enables you, what is opening through that. And then let the decisions arise out of your own experiential understanding. So this is the reminder.